Mark chapter 10. Setting out from there, Yeshua went to the region of Judea and beyond the Jordan. Crowds gathered to him again, and as he was accustomed, he once more began to teach them. And some Pharisees came to Yeshua, testing him, and began questioning him whether it was lawful for a man to divorce his wife. And he answered and said to them, "What did Moses command you?" They said, "Moses permitted a man to write a certificate of divorce and send his wife away." But Yeshua said to them, "Because of your hardness of heart he wrote you this commandment. But from the beginning of creation Yahweh created them male and female. For this reason a man shall leave his father and mother, and the two shall become one flesh. So they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore what Yahweh has joined together, no person is to separate." And in the house the disciples again began questioning him about this. And he said to them, "Whoever divorces his wife and marries another woman commits adultery against her. And if she herself divorces her husband and marries another man, she is committing adultery." And they were bringing children to him so that he would touch them. But the disciples rebuked them. But when Yeshua saw this, he was indignant and said to them, "Allow the children to come to me. Do not forbid them, for the kingdom of Yahweh belongs to such as these. Truly I say to you, whoever does not receive the kingdom of Yahweh like a child will not enter it at all." And he took them in his arms and began blessing them, laying his hands on them. As he was setting out on the journey, a man ran up to him and knelt before him, and asked him, "Good teacher, what shall I do that I may inherit eternal life?" But Yeshua said to him, "Why do you call me good? No one is good except Yahweh alone. You know the commandments: do not murder, do not commit adultery, do not steal, do not give false testimony, do not defraud, honor your father and mother." And he said to him, "Teacher, I have kept all these things from my youth." Looking at him, Yeshua showed love to him and said to him, "One thing you lack. Go and sell all you possess and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. And come, follow me." But he was deeply dismayed by these words, and he went away grieving, for he was one who owned much property. And Yeshua, looking around, said to his disciples, "How hard it will be for those who are wealthy to enter the kingdom of Yahweh." And the disciples were amazed at his words. But Yeshua responded again and said to them, "Children, how hard is it to enter the kingdom of Yahweh? It is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich person to enter the kingdom of Yahweh." And they were even more astonished, and said to them, "Then who can be saved?" Looking at them, Yeshua said, "With people it is impossible, but not with Yahweh, for all things are possible with Yahweh." Peter said to him, "Behold, we have left everything and have followed you." Yeshua said, "Truly I say to you, there is no one who has left house, or brothers, or sisters, or mother, or father, or children, or farms, for my sake and for the good news' sake, but that he will receive 100 times as much now in the present age, houses, and brothers, and sisters, and mothers, and children, and farms, along with persecutions, and in the age to come eternal life. But many who are first will be last, and the last first." Now they were on the road going up to Jerusalem, and Yeshua was walking on ahead of them. And they were amazed, and those who followed were fearful. And he again took the 12 aside, and began to tell them what was going to happen to him, saying, "Behold, we are going up to Jerusalem, and the Son of Man will be handed over to the chief priests and the scribes, and they will condemn him to death, and will hand him over to the Gentiles. And they will mock him and spit on him, and flog him and kill him, and 3 days later he will rise from the dead." James and John, the two sons of Zebedee, came to Yeshua, saying to him, "Teacher, we want you to do for us whatever we ask of you." And he said to them, "What do you want me to do for you?" They said to him, "Grant that we may sit, one on your right and one on your left, in your glory." But Yeshua said to them, "You do not know what you are asking. Are you able to drink the cup that I drink, or be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized?" And they said to him, "We are able." And Yeshua said to them, "The cup that I drink you shall drink, and you shall be baptized with the baptism with which I am baptized. But to sit on my right or on my left is not mine to give, but it is for those for whom it has been prepared." Hearing this, the other 10 disciples began to feel indignant with James and John. Calling them to himself, Yeshua said to them, "You know that those who are recognized as rulers of the Gentiles domineer over them, and their people in high positions exercise authority over them. But it is not this way among you. Rather, whoever wants to become prominent among you shall be your servant, and whoever wants to be first among you shall be slave of all. For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as ransom for many." Then they came to Jericho, and later, as he was leaving Jericho with his disciples and a large crowd, a beggar who was blind was called Bartimaeus, the son of Timaeus, was sitting by the road. And when he heard that it was Yeshua the Nazarene, he began to cry out and say, "Yeshua, son of David, have mercy on me." Many were sternly telling him to be quiet, but he kept crying out all the more, "Son of David, have mercy on me." And Yeshua stopped and said, "Call him here." So they called the man who was blind, saying to him, "Take courage, stand up, he is calling for you." And throwing off his cloak, he jumped up and came to Yeshua. And replying to him, Yeshua said, "What do you want me to do for you?" And the man who was blind said to him, "Rabboni, I want to regain my sight." And Yeshua said to him, "Go, your faith has made you well." And immediately he regained his sight and began following him on the road.